My name is Family Guy Theories, and today I'm talking about Stewie's long-lost brother, Bertram. If a lot of people don't know, Bertram was Stewie's brother, half-brother I guess, if you want to talk about it. Today's episode I'm going to be commentating with Bertram's voice, the best I can possibly do. I might change here a few there bits, I'm not really too sure, and hope you guys enjoy. First episode of Bertram. Pretty much in this episode, Lois' sister has a baby in the hospital. Peter and Lois are directed and just wanting to have a baby, but they don't really know if they want one, really. Because, it costs a lot of money, all that shit, I'm not really too sure. And Stewie kind of feels alone with this new baby being around, and he wants something else to do. Stewie shrinks himself into Peter's cock with a small ship, enters his fucking vessels, destroys his sperm, and Bertram, he meets Bertram in there, pretty much. Then exiting with only a few seconds left, he realizes that he's gonna be dead if he doesn't leave, and he has to leave. Bertram dies, supposedly. And the episode kind of concludes there, but then last few seconds of the episode, you see Bertram and Peter's eyes slowly, because his eye starts twitching, and that's him. Sibling Rivalry, Season 4, Episode 22 is the second episode where Bertram is. After a close pregnancy scare with Lois, Peter decides to get a vasectomy. Before doing so, he wants to go to the sperm donation place and donate his sperm. And while doing so, he knocked over a whole rack of donated sperm. And cleaning up by himself, he ends up filling all the bottles with his own sperm. With doing so, a lesbian couple a few years later end up having Bertram. Stewie and Bertram meet, and they realize they're very, very similar. After a fight at the playground, Bertram ends up giving Stewie the chicken pox. Stewie's the only one without it. Stewie's supposed girlfriend becomes Bertram's servant. Stewie infiltrates Bertram's camp at the center of the playground and defeating all of his guards. It's down to Bertram only. Both admit that they got defeated and they leave. They don't talk again. Later that episode, Lois becomes really fucking fat because they don't want to have sex because of Peter's vasectomy. Following episode, The Big Bang Theory, Season 9, Episode 16, aired 2011. This episode, pretty much, Stewie keeps getting roasted by Brian, and he wants to go back in time and kind of change that every time he gets roasted. Brian ends up catching on, they end up fighting on the time machine, and it goes back in time all the way back to nothing. It breaks it. They're in the middle of nowhere, there's no time, nothing. They're outside the space-time continuum. Stewie ends up getting something going and they end up making the Big Bang. They end up making the universe. And with that, a million years later, they end up in Italy with Leonardo da Vinci himself. They end up seeing all this really cool stuff and they end up seeing Leonardo da Vinci is actually related to Stewie. Now, Bertram ends up coming later in the episode and trying to kill Leonardo da Vinci. And by the fact that Leonardo da Vinci looks like Stewie himself, the one who made the universe, the one who made the Big Bang, if he dies, Stewie won't be born later on in the time frame. So that means the universe will not be created. And Bertram wants to kill Leonardo da Vinci, so they have to protect him with all costs. After chasing a long time around through the city, Bertram ends up killing Leonardo da Vinci. Stewie and Brian end up killing Bertram, and that's kind of end the Bertram. What happens to Stewie is nothing really happens there. Nothing breaks, the world doesn't end yet. But what Stewie has to do is put himself in a capsule, in a cryogenic capsule by the Catholic Church. Make sure he finds the coordinates to Spooner Street, the same house they lived in the 21st century, and they make sure they get them there. Thousands of years later, Brian answers the door like, "Who the fuck is this?" Priest reads, "This is a letter from Leonardo da Vinci himself. Served to you at this exact date, at this exact time." Brian gets the letter, doesn't even close the fucking door, runs down the fucking stairs, and realizes Stewie's in a capsule underneath the basement floor. He ends up breaking concrete with one shovel, which is fucking retarded, but okay. Stewie ends up bringing him a candle instead of a fucking notebook or something. Brian gets all pissed, the episode's over, and voila. Your answered question is, what the fuck happened to Bertram? Well, I just answered it for you. And if you guys want another episode on why or like how Bertram could come back, because it is possible, I feel like Bertram could come back. I've been asking this myself the past couple seasons of Family Guy. Why hasn't Bertram come back? It is possible. I know it is. Anyways, guys, I make videos like this all the time. All they can do is get better. I do the voices for the episode character. Liking the video very helps with the channel. Tells me if you guys actually want another video like this. And it's been Bertram, guys. Signing off.